If you spent any time on YouTube lately, you'd think we're on the brink of another 2008. Video after video shouting, the great crash of 2025. But is it true? Are we really standing on a cliff's edge? Or is that just another case of fear grabbing the mic while facts get buried under clickbait? Stay with me to the end of this video because I'm going to show you exactly what the numbers say. Not the headlines, not the hype, so you can make informed real estate decisions and not reactionary ones. I'm Frank Spencer, Mr. Chatsworth, and I do business here in Porter Ranch, Chatsworth, Northridge, the greater San Fernando Valley. And unlike some creators who are chasing views with fear-based content, my mission is simple, to give you the truth, backed by data so that you can buy or sell with confidence and not confusion. Today we're comparing the real numbers behind today's housing market to what actually caused the collapse of 2006-2008. And trust me, the similarities are not as strong as they would have you believe. Let's get into it. So first let's talk about inventory. In real estate, supply and demand drive everything. So inventory is always the first place we look for signs of trouble. Right now, there are roughly about 1.5 million homes on the market nationwide. That number's risen gradually, and yes, it's up from where we were immediately post-pandemic. But to put it in context, in 2006, inventories ballooned to over 4 million homes. That created a flood, a buyer's market so extreme that sellers were cutting price left and right just to get noticed. And today, we're nowhere near that point. The current level still represents a historically normal range, not a glut. And most sellers today aren't in a panic. If they're adjusting prices, it's marginal, not desperate. Price drops are the exception and not the rule, and they're almost always driven by individual need, not market-wide pressure. Next, I want to take a look at loan performance, and this is big. The default rate. That's how many homeowners are behind on payments, and it tells us a lot about the financial distress in the market. In 2007, we saw 5.82% of the mortgages, existing mortgages, in default. Today, we're at about 1.21, a fraction of that. So why the difference? Well, it comes down to lending standards. Back then, if you had 580 FICO score and a pulse, you could get a loan, no proof of income, no proof of assets, stated income loans, no doc loans. It was a house of cards. Today, buyers go through a serious vetting process. They have full income verification, asset documentation, and strict debt-to-income ratios. So the people buying homes today, they've earned their loans, and they're in a far better position to keep them. Section 3, we need to talk about income and savings. Households are healthier. The major difference between now and 2006, 2007 is the financial health of the average household. In 2006, household incomes were falling, largely due to stagnation and job loss. Today, income levels are rising across the board, and especially in the wake of post-pandemic labor shifts. But it doesn't stop there. Let's talk about savings, because when a crisis hits, that cushion matters. In 2006, the personal savings rate hovered around 1%, dangerously low. Today, we're at 5.85%, which aligns with more long-term historical norms. People have more cash on hand, more equity in their homes, and are far better prepared for financial turbulence than they were in the lead up to the last crash. That's not the foundation of collapse. That's the foundation of stability. So if all the indicators look nothing like 2007, why are so many YouTubers still talking about a crash? Simple. Fear sells. Outrage and anxiety grab attention. It works for algorithms, but it doesn't work for your future. The truth is, many of these creators are generalists. They're not active in the market, they're not reviewing local data, and they're certainly not helping real people buy and sell homes every day. That's what I do. What I see is a market in transition, not in crisis. So let's make this personal. You're probably watching this video because you're asking, should I buy? Should I sell? Or should I wait? And my answer is you should act when the data supports your goals, not when fear tells you to freeze. You see, what it comes down to really is the cost of money. I want to give you a comparison between a $700,000 purchase in 2020 and a $700,000 purchase in 2025, because those same people that are telling you the market is going to crash today are the same people that were telling you not to buy 5 years ago because the market was going to crash and you could buy cheaper. So in this example, in 2020, a $700,000 home with a 3% rate probably cost you about $2,500 a month all in. Today, that same loan at 7.25%, probably going to be over $5,600 a month. And if rates drop into the 6 range next spring, that could bring your payment down by thousands annually. And competition will certainly heat up again. Now, if you made it this far, here's the insight most channels aren't telling you. Economists like Dr. Lawrence Yun of the National Association of Realtors and local expert Stephen Thomas believe we'll see mild price corrections continue through late 2025, but not enough to justify panic. And by spring of 26, we're likely to see those interest rates drop back into the low sixes, which should reignite the buyer demand and stabilize or even boost prices. We've seen this before. In 2023, the rates got down to 6.5 for just 42 days. Buyer activity exploded, and that's your window. If it happens again, and I believe it will, you'll want to be ahead of the wave and not behind it. So is now a good time to buy it or sell a home? Absolutely. If you base your decisions on fact, not fear. The crash narrative sounds dramatic, but the data tells a much calmer story. If you want someone in your corner who reads the data, watches the trends, and truly understands what's happening in our local market, let's talk. I work with buyers and sellers here in the greater San Fernando Valley, and I'd love to help you too. Be sure to like this video if it helped you. Subscribe for more grounded updates and drop a comment below. I personally answer each and every one. Thanks for watching. Now let's make a plan that works for you, and then I'll see you around the neighborhood.